Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel called zuzanareacts, where I learn all things para with your help, and I just share my Slovak Central European point of view. And in today's video we are going to look into Jesus and India connection. So we've talked about it, you guys were mentioning that in your comments, and let's explore that in the short video that is to come. But before we do,
please like this video and click on the subscribe button and turn on the notification. Thank you so much for your support.
So just before we get into that, I think that Abhijit had mentioned that, Chatva, in one of his videos, that there are apparently really zero references for Jesus being in India ever. So it's interesting to see that there is also a sentiment on the internet believing that he actually been to India. So let's explore this together.
Jesus Christ has a special place in the hearts and lives of many of the great saints and masters of India. They have seen him in visions. They have researched and proved not only his existence, but that he lived in India during the so-called lost years. And they have expounded his teachings as being not just consistent with Sanatana Dharma, but actually one with it. Some of the best-known figures in modern Hinduism, Sri Ramakrishna, his great disciple Swami Brahmananda, Swami Ramatirtha, Papa Ramdas, and Paramahansa Yogananda all saw Jesus in visions. Some of them saw him more than once, and many actually spoke with him. Sri Ramakrishna kept a picture of Jesus in his room at the Dakshineshwar Kali temple. He told several of his disciples that he had seen in visions that they had been direct disciples of Jesus in their previous births. Both Swami Ramatirtha and Papa Ramdas at separate times had visions of Jesus while staying at Vishishta Guha north of Rishikesh, in the cave where Jesus had lived for a while, even though they didn't know that fact at the time of their visions, but learned it later. Swami Abhedananda and Swami Trigunatitananda, disciples of Sri Ramakrishna, made separate journeys to Ladakh in Tibet and verified the existence of ancient Buddhist texts recording the life of Jesus and his visit to that region. The Buddhist monk showed Swami Trigunatitananda 2 paintings of Jesus, and when the Swami lived in America as a Vedanta missionary, he had a copy of one of these paintings made based on his description of the original he saw in Ladakh. Swami Abhedananda, also for a time a Vedanta missionary to America, printed a translation of a part of the Buddhist text on Jesus and defied the British government's ban on Nicholas Nodovich's book, The Unknown Life of Jesus Christ, which contained the complete text. He not only brought copies of the book from America, but also had an edition printed in India. And he also wrote the pamphlet, Why a Hindu Accepts Christ and Rejects Churchianity. An American disciple of Sri Ma Sarada Devi, the consort of Sri Ramakrishna, wrote to Swami Saradananda about how she felt equal devotion to Sri Ramakrishna and to Jesus. The Swami wrote back, Our master assured us that they were just the same. Later in the 20th century, the Shankaracharya of Puri, Jagadguru Bharata Krishna Tirtha, found what he described as proof positive that during his time in India, Jesus actually lived in the Govardhan Mutt, the present mutt of the order of Shankara in Puri. He wrote a book on the subject, which he discovered had been supposedly lost while he was on a world tour, and which he did not live long enough to rewrite. Before that, Swami Sri Yukteswar Giri, the guru of Yogananda, wrote a study in which he proved that Jesus had lived in India and that his teachings were identical with the Sanatana Dharma which he adopted and preached in the West. This book was borrowed by a Christian missionary who refused to return it, both in Sri Yukteswar's lifetime and even after his death. One of the most famous and beloved yogis of the 20th century, Paramahansa Yogananda, wrote and lectured extensively on the teachings of Jesus. In fact, his first speech given in this country, he announced that he would be holding classes in Boston, which would consist of 3 half-hour periods apiece. One on the teachings of the Bhagavad Gita, one on the teachings of the Gospels, and one demonstrating that their teachings were the same. His 2-volume commentary on the Gospels, The Second Coming of Christ, is perhaps the only complete and reliable presentation of Jesus' real teachings, which are mostly unknown to churchianity.
Wow.
Swami Prabhavananda of the Hollywood Vedanta Society wrote The Sermon on the Mount according to Vedanta, and often referred to Jesus in his lectures.
Interesting.
Swami Akhilananda of the Boston Vedanta Society wrote a valuable study called Hindu View of Christ, and also cited Jesus as a spiritual authority. Both Vedanta societies celebrate Christmas too, as does Belur Math, the world headquarters of Ramakrishna Mission. As a final example, which our Abbot George Burke witnessed himself, is his beloved friend Swami Shivananda, founder of the Divine Life Society in Rishikesh and a perfect embodiment of Sanatana Dharma. Shivananda wrote and published A Life of Jesus for popular circulation, and he celebrated Christmas each year at Shivananda Ashram. In the daily evening satsang kirtan there that Abbot George was fortunate to attend during his first visit to India in 1962, Shivananda led all in singing,
Oh my Jesus, oh Lord Jesus, hail Jesus, oh Father, Father. Oh my Jesus, oh Lord Jesus, hail Jesus, Father, Father. Oh my Mary, oh Virgin Mary, hail Mary. Oh Mother, Mother, oh my Mary, oh Virgin Mary, hail Mary, oh Mother, Mother.
and often at the end, along with other exclamations in praise of Dharma, Shivananda would call out, Jesus Bhagavan Ki Jai, glory to the Lord Jesus. All these great yogis of India did not just believe Jesus existed, they honored him as a liberated son of God and considered him a Sanatana Dharmi just like themselves. As Swami Shivananda described him, a yogi of the East, a perfect yogi, and a child of the soil of India. Jesus Bhagavan Ki Jai.
Now, that is interesting. I wonder what you guys think. Having Jesus being Sanatani, how do you feel about that? I know your strong views on Christianity, but I feel it's interesting because they mentioned a number of books, and I feel like I'm going to pick one of them, like the Life of Jesus Christ. Just to be curious, like the lost years are actually more associated, from my personal understanding, with his life in England amongst Druids. So I would love to know if anyone knows, because as I mentioned before, Abhijit talks about the fact that there are absolutely no proofs that he lived there. So, and then there is this Jesus cave. So I would have to do additional research, but if you have kind of any like a tangible evidence or any additional knowledge, please do let me know and share this with me. But I would be really curious to know what you think about this persona and him being Sanatani, and does that mean even anything to you? It absolutely doesn't. I'm just it's just out of pure curiosity. So with that being said, thank you so much for watching this video with me. If you did enjoy, please give a thumbs up, share a like, and subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you next one. Until then, please do take care. I'm sending much love. Bye bye.